Last time on What If Trunks went back in time to save the Saiyans. Trunks, in order to save his future, has decided to save the entirety of the Saiyan race, and with the help of Bardock, confronted the Emperor Frieza after training him and a few other Saiyans. The battle was intense, but with Trunks unlocking Super Saiyan 2 and Bardock unlocking Super Saiyan, the victory was ensured, and the celebrations soon began. But Prince Vegeta and King Vegeta swore to rule over the galaxy and not be limited to their own planet, as a darkness just as evil as Frieza loomed from behind. Frieza's brother is revealed now. Cooler's Revenge. What if Trunks went back in time to save the Saiyans? Part 2. The Saiyans roared in cheers as meat, music, and alcohol was passed around the village. Frieza had been defeated by not one but two Super Saiyans of legend. The Saiyan race were enjoying a massive celebration, excited to be free from their servitude. Gine and the rest of the butchers in her village prepared a large feast as Trunks and Bardock happily ate. During the meal, Trunks wondered if he should stay a little bit longer. Did he really need to keep training here, or was he just being selfish? Suddenly, Trunks was pulled in by various members of the Bardock squad, each one congratulating him and asking him to show them that trick for getting Super Saiyan ASAP. Trunks smiled nervously, but he decides to stay a little bit longer, at least until the Saiyans got strong enough to take care of themselves. Over the next few weeks, Saiyan society rebuilds as Trunks continues to train the Saiyans. Bardock and Trunks are treated like heroes by the low class, constantly getting approached with gifts, challenges, and requests to show off Super Saiyan. Several middle class and even a few elites approach the pair, taunting them to battle and asking for special training. Trunks nervously accepts most requests, but Bardock would yell at the gawkers to get lost. Yet, there were a few things that bothered Trunks. It had been weeks since he saw Prince Vegeta. Shortly after the celebration, Vegeta and his team were quickly sent off to a mission before Trunks could even approach him. He notices that the king was sending soldiers to hunt down the remnants of the Frieza Force. King Vegeta and the elite claim that this is the only way to truly be free from the shadow of Frieza. Trunks isn't sure about this, wondering if the king may have ulterior motives for sending so many troops out into space. Bardock has similar suspicions, voicing his concerns to Trunks and Gine. The elites were up to something. He could feel it. Eventually, Bardock and his squad are assigned a mission to eliminate a Frieza Force outpost on a far-off planet. Bardock is worried about leaving, but Gine reassures him that she'll be fine, especially if she has Trunks around to keep her shop safe. Trunks nods, promising Bardock that he'd stay to protect his family while he's gone. Trunks kept his word, staying in the village and learning more about Saiyan culture from Gine. He was surprised to learn that not every Saiyan was a warrior. There were engineers, scientists, butchers, and many other occupations in Saiyan society. Trunks thought back to his Earth, wondering if his mother was doing well. He couldn't forget his mission, to save the future. Some more time passes. One day, Trunks is at Gine's butcher shop, playing with little Kakarot, when he is suddenly attacked. A sniper shot from far away nearly struck Trunks in a vital point, but he sensed the incoming attack and barely managed to dodge it. Trunks tells Gine to grab Kakarot and hide, bursting his ki out and chasing down the sniper who was jumping across various buildings. Trunks confronts the sniper, shocked to see a young boy was the assailant. He had green hair and two different colored eyes, one red and one blue. Before Trunks could ask why he had attacked him, the mysterious boy strikes. He shot several more ki attacks aimed directly at Trunks' vital points, but his guard was up. He was able to deflect the blast with only his finger. As the boy tries to throw a punch, Trunks suddenly appears behind him as he grabs his arm, trapping him in a hold. "Who are you? Why are you attacking me?"
Get off of me, you stupid Saiyan scum!
Now. It's best to surrender when your opponent is vastly more powerful than you. Stand down.
Huh? A group of aliens appear before Trunks, introducing themselves as the Heeters. This was simply a test to see if the power of the Super Saiyan was as astonishing as they've heard. They congratulated Trunks for being able to defeat their best mercenary so easily. His skills really weren't a lie. He was the real deal. The Heeters explained that they have valuable intel regarding Frieza's father, King Cold. He was alive and still invading planets. In fact, their intel indicates that a peaceful planet, Cereal, is the next planet the king will be attempting to conquer. They plead to Trunks, asking if the legendary Super Saiyan could defeat King Cold, as he did Frieza. Trunks naively agrees, as he enters the Heeters' ship, with them and the sniping mercenary. Trunks waves goodbye to Gine and Kakarot, telling them that he'll be back
back. During the trip to Planet Cereal, Trunks notices the boy hates his guts. He tries his best to get close to him, but his initial attempts result in failure. The kid would simply curse at him, shooting at his vital points and running away. Eventually, Trunks' attempts to get close work, as one day, the boy approaches him, asking how he was able to find him back on planet Vegeta. Trunks says that he won't say anything until he learns this boy's name, as the boy mutters a single word: Granolah. Eventually, the two start a bond, as Trunks and Granolah share stories about their past. They bond over both being the last survivors of their respective people. Although Trunks doesn't reveal that he's a time traveler, Granolah reminds Trunks so much of himself, Gohan, angry, resentful, and lonely. Trunks gives Granolah a deal. If he trains him, giving him a few pointers and teaching him the tricks to how he found him earlier, then Granolah has to promise to stop shooting at him. The kid agrees, and their training begins. As the space trip continues, the two become close. Granolah manages to pick up ki control rather quickly, learning how to sense ki and eventually fly. Trunks was filled with nostalgia, remembering his first time flying and how Gohan was the one who taught him it. For the first time since they've met, Granolah smiles in delight as he excitedly yells at Trunks to see how fast he can fly. However, this catches the attention of the Heeters. Oil and Maki wonder if this will be an issue, but Elec reassures them that it'll be fine if Granolah dies with them. What's losing a single mercenary in exchange for universal domination? Meanwhile, back on planet Vegeta, Bardock returns home from his mission fighting against the Frieza Force remnants. Bardock asks Gine where Trunks is, and when she tells him that he went with a group called the Heeters, he panics. Bardock knows the Heeters can't be trusted. He yells at Gine to tell him where they went, immediately getting back into a space pod and heading off into Planet Cereal.
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, I hope you're enjoying the video thus far. If you like this sort of content and want to see more and support the channel, then consider becoming a Patreon. There, you can help support the channel through various tiers while getting some perks of your own. As a Patreon, you will help get the videos out faster, fun thumbnail art, editing, and even writing for videos. Overall, this is the best way we can ensure to keep providing you guys with awesome content. Plus, you get some neat perks like a bonus mini podcast, early access to videos such as this one, and more. So be sure to go to patreon.com/SmugStick and consider supporting the channel. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Become a Patreon!
And now back to our show.
Trunks' group arrives on planet Cereal. According to the Heeters' intel, King Cold's army would arrive within a few hours, so they had some free time until then. Granolah looks over at Trunks, asking him if he'd like to see his home. He takes Trunks to his house, on the outskirts of the city where Monaito was waiting. Monaito is glad to see Granolah finally has a friend. Granolah excitedly tells Monaito everything he learned on the trip back, talking and talking until he got tired and fell asleep. Monaito chuckles, thanking Trunks for spending so much time with Granolah. He hadn't seen him this happy in some time. A long time ago, his mother and the rest of his people were massacred by the Saiyans right in front of his eyes. The trauma he experienced has left his heart shattered and closed. Yet, he was able to make a friend, and with a Saiyan no less. Monaito requests that Trunks promise to stay friends with Granolah. Trunks accepts as he looks at Monaito more closely. He thinks to himself that he appears to match the description of Gohan's old master, Piccolo. He must be a Namekian, isn't he? Does this mean he has Dragon Balls? However, as Trunks is about to ask this question, they bolt up. They had sensed it. King Cold and his army were here. Trunks wakes up Granolah as they exit the building. They look up to the sky as they see a massive mothership floating overhead. The ship descends, and from within it, a massive hulking figure steps out wearing a cape. The resemblance to Frieza was uncanny. This had to be King Cold. The monarch introduces himself, stating that he was glad to finally meet the so-called Super Saiyan that killed his son. He needed to pay. King Cold outstretched his arm, ordering his soldiers to attack. Trunks pulls out his sword ready to strike, but a volley of ki blast whizzes past them as they strike the soldiers. Granolah yells out to Trunks to take care of Cold. He'd handle the small fry. Trunks gives him a thumbs up, dashing over to the king and performing a roundhouse kick. Yet, King Cold manages to block the attack. As the two exchange blows, Trunks is surprised to see the king actually do so well against him in battle. He didn't think he was able to be this strong. Trunks burst into Super Saiyan, his golden hair spiking up. Yet, this doesn't seem to faze King Cold. In fact, he mentions how he doesn't find this legendary form to be that impressive. He asks Trunks to get serious and show him his real power. The power that killed his son. Once again, Trunks is stunned, King Cold was even aware of this new Super Saiyan 2. Trunks starts to wonder if someone informed him about his abilities. As the battle intensifies, Trunks and King Cold clash their fists, landing punches over and over before jumping back, each of them firing a ki beam clashing in the middle. However, as the beam push against each other, a third ki blast crashes against them, pushing both of them back. Bardock. Trunks yells at Bardock. What was he doing there? Bardock barks back, asking Trunks and King Cold why they're here. Trunks says that he's here to stop King Cold from conquering the planet, but King Cold finds that amusing. He was told that the Super Saiyans were going to conquer this planet, one that already belonged to his empire. Trunks is left confused, but Bardock explains that they were being played by the Heeters. The only things those crooks care about is manipulating others to do what they want. Right on cue, the Heeters arrive with an injured Monaito. Elec claps his hands, congratulating them for finally using their brains. Yet, it doesn't matter anymore. Thanks to this Namekian and his little trinkets, no one would be able to stop them now. Granola's eyes widen, screaming to leave Monaito alone. He tries to save him, but he's kicked back by a powered-up Gas. The Heeters had used the Cerealian Dragonballs to give Gas the strength to surpass Super Saiyans. Trunks grits his teeth. His suspicions were right. Monaito really did have his own set of Dragon Balls. Elec reveals his plan. He manipulated the Super Saiyan and King Cold to battle each other, so they would have to kill one another, leaving himself and his family as the ones left to conquer the universe. Yet, now that their plan was revealed, it was time to use their backup plan, using the Cerealian Dragon Balls to empower Gas and simply kill them themselves. Elec smiles, glad to know that the Saiyan that eluded them so many years ago would also die here. It was if fate was on their side. Bardock yells at Trunks to go all out, both of them powering up as they charge at Gas. They manage to deal considerable amount of damage, which surpasses Elec. Thanks to the presence of Bardock, Gas is scared to fight back. However, a pep talk from Elec causes Gas to break through his fear and control his berserk transformation. Gas nearly kills Bardock, aiming to stab him in the chest with a ki sword, but he is blasted from behind by King Cold. He would not allow anyone else to kill what was rightfully his kill. Trunks jumps in, his ki soaring, and unleashing Super Saiyan 2. He hates to admit it, but he needs King Cold's help if he wants to survive this time. The Monarch proposes a temporary truce with Trunks, reluctantly accepting. As Trunks and Cold hold off Gas, Monaito heads over to Bardock and starts to heal him. Granolah wakes up, seeing Trunks struggling against Gas. He attempts to fire several ki shots towards his vital points, but Gas sees that coming, creating a massive train made of ki and slamming it into the child. Trunks is enraged. The boy had gone through so much, he would never forgive Gas. Bardock yells at Trunks to stop holding back and embrace his Saiyan nature to fight like a Saiyan.
Stop thinking so much and fight like you mean it!
Trunks allows his rage to empower him, his eyes widening out as he pummels Gas. Trunks was finally starting to win. Elec fires his pistol, aiming directly at Trunks, but the blast is smacked away by Bardock. His blood was pumping. His anger was rising. He wanted to join in the battle. He wanted to be the one to defeat Gas. But more than that, he wouldn't allow the Heeters to pull any dirty tricks or kill anyone else like they did with Granola's mother. He wakes up, his ki erupting, pushing back Elec, Oil, and Maki as Bardock obtains Super Saiyan 2. Bardock dashes over to Trunks, punching Gas square in the jaw and sending them flying. If they want to beat Gas, they need to place all their power into a single attack. King Cold walks up to them, declaring that he'll be the only one doing any killing here. Through teamwork, the trio deal a massive amount of damage to Gas, blasting him with a combined energy blast. At first, they think Gas was defeated, as all they see is a rotting corpse. Yet, Gas manages to stand up, ready to continue the fight. Bardock, Trunks, and Cold get into the battle stance, readying themselves, until they see something that makes them stop dead in their tracks. They can't believe what they're seeing, trembling as their mouth drops. At first, Gas thinks that his opponents are terrified of him, until a loud thud is heard behind them. Before Gas can even turn around, a figure immediately lunges towards him, landing a single fatal punch. Trunks and Bardock are utterly flabbergasted. Was this Frieza? King Cold stepped forward, shaking in admiration and fear. This wasn't Frieza. This was his eldest son, Cooler. Trunks doesn't understand what he's hearing. He was never told that Frieza had any brothers. Perhaps this was a consequence of his time traveling, creating a time anomaly. King Cold thanks his son for arriving to take care of the bothersome Heeters. Now that he was there, their clan would reclaim their title as rulers of the universe. Cooler merely looks at his father before eyeing Bardock and Trunks. Cooler reveals that he was busy conquering the South Galaxy when he heard the news of his little brother's death at the hands of 2 Super Saiyans. Cooler had returned in order to take revenge on those who brought such shame to his clan, and this included his failure of a father who would stoop as low as partnering with filthy Saiyans. King Cold's eyes widened as he attempted to bargain for his life, but it was futile. Cooler viewed his father's decision to work with the Saiyans as a dishonor, which only death was a fitting punishment for. In a single move, Cooler slapped his father so hard that it snapped his neck. Cooler calls out Elec, who is attempting to retreat with the other Heeters. Understanding that he can't escape, Elec demands to know how it's possible that he can defeat Gas. Cooler simply says that he's far stronger than a mere Super Saiyan, suddenly appearing in front of Elec and killing him with a point-blank ki blast. Maki and Oil are left standing there, frozen in fear. Cooler faces the Super Saiyans as he bulks up into his final form, his 5th state. Trunks and Bardock are shocked at how strange he is. They charge their ki to the max, electricity firing violently through their auras. It's worthless. In a single strike, Trunks and Bardock are immediately incapacitated. This Cooler is far stronger than the one we know from the original movie, as he has been displaced through time and space thanks to Trunks changing reality. Cooler laughs triumphantly, declaring that he's disappointed at the strength of those so-called Super Saiyans of legend. Cooler rises up, preparing a supernova to destroy the planet, a single spaceship rocketing to the battle site. The newly healed Granolah had summoned his own spaceship piloted by his AI assistant Oatmeal to rescue them. He had his ship on standby in case of an emergency. Granolah holds onto Monaito and Trunks as Bardock, in a split-second decision, pulls in Oil and Maki on board. The ship narrowly escapes Planet Cereal's destruction as a massive flash consumes the world. In the space where Planet Cereal once stood, Cooler sees a spaceship blink out of sight as he vows to finish what his brother started and kill the Saiyans once and for all. Out in space, Trunks wakes up as Monaito finishes healing him. Trunks thanks him for saving him, and Granolah states that it was nothing. Oatmeal did the actual rescuing. Trunks thanks Oatmeal for his assistance, and Granolah stares down at Oil and Maki. He asks Bardock why he saved that scum, but Bardock growls. Oil and Maki beg for their lives, offering to do whatever they want as Monaito tells everyone to calm down. At the same time, in a large castle, King Vegeta is sitting comfortably on his throne when a small Saiyan enters the chamber. The king grants his son the permission to speak as Prince Vegeta informs his father that the mission was a success. As Prince Vegeta orders Raditz and Nappa to bring him in, a young boy is brought before the king, who asks for his name. He looks up at the king, muttering a single word: Broly. After spending some time traveling through the galaxy, a single spaceship approaches the planet. Oatmeal announces to its occupants that they have arrived at their destination, Planet Vegeta. As the ship lands, Granolah instructs Oatmeal to cloak the ship and wait for further instructions. The group heads to Guinea's butcher shop. Guinea is excited to see her husband once more, and she asks if he found Trunks yet, but then she sees the dejected looks on everyone's faces. She goes up to Bardock, holding him and asking what's wrong. Who were these people? What happened to Planet Cereal? Bardock takes a deep breath and he asks Guinea to sit down. It's a long story. Inside their home, Bardock and Trunks do their best to explain what happened. After they finished, Guinea had her hands on her mouth. Those poor Cerealians. And Cooler had returned? Does this mean that the Saiyans are going to be enslaved again? Bardock slams his fist against the wall. He never allowed that to happen again. He spins his head, staring at the nervous Oil and Maki. If it wasn't for the Heeters, none of this would have happened. He shouldn't have saved them. They should have perished. Bardock approaches the terrified Heeters, but Trunks stands in front of them. He tells the Saiyan to calm down and let it go. Elec was the real mastermind anyways. Getting rid of these two won't change anything. Guinea approaches Bardock with a stern look on her face. She wouldn't allow any fights in her house. Oil and Maki are scared but glad that they are alive. For now, the remaining Heeters, Granolah and Monaito, stay with Guinea while they figure out what to do next. During their stay, Oil and Maki volunteer to help Guinea with butchering meat, while Monaito and Granolah look after Kakarot. Days pass, and news of Planet Cereal's destruction, King Cold's death, and the return of Cooler spread through the village like wildfire.
But soon enough, Trunks and Bardock are surprised by an invitation from King Vegeta to the castle. They suspect something is very wrong for the king to be summoning them, but that's for next time on What If Trunks Went Back in Time to Save the Saiyans. Thanks for watching, everyone. This episode was edited by Geeks for Fun and largely written by Professor Chimp. Thank you for your help again. And the thumbnail was done by Brandon_edits. This one was a lot of fun to make, and the next part will be up next week if this one gets 3,000 likes. So be sure to hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss the best Dragon Ball stories out there. This video wouldn't have been possible without you Patreons. So thanks to all of you. And remember, you get to watch videos like this early if you join the 3rd tier. So shout out to you guys: Zachary Carlock, Mika Liley, 3 Kaiser, Ricardo Rodriguez, Shane K, JP Law, Angel MR, True Lightning Striker, Squad 100, Ghost 1571, PJ 90 the 3rd, Lee Urquides, Daddy Bear 103, Orange Bag YT, Trent Rolls, Demon Plays 22, Jim G, Jerome Foster, D Miles, The Gaming Galaxy, Dakota Kaiser, Salil Paranjape, Keith Grimes, Celestia, Dreadpool, and Samuel Randall. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and until we meet again. See ya!